Now Trent, he sent me a question. He said, you know, I've been working with this teaching pro, and this teaching pro says I'm never ever going to take divots. I'm never going to compress the golf ball. Well, Trent, I'm sorry that a professional told you that, because that's ridiculous. I think, you know, I saw a couple of your swings, and I think you actually have a lot of talent. I think you get a little confused with target lines, and I'll suggest that. Give you a suggestion on what I think is going to help you. Just because people love to set up on straight lines, and Trent, your situation, you know, I look at your address position, and obviously you're flipping it a little bit, so you're trying to hit down. You've got the golf ball very, very, very centered in your stance. Well, what's going to happen here is if you actually do this properly, when you make contact, Trent, that ball is going to go about 20 degrees up to the right. Okay? So you're not going to let that happen. You're very conscious of parallel lines. I can see when you set up, when you showed me those videos, you had, you know, clubs on the ground, and now you've got a golf ball well back in your stance. Well, if you were really going to hit this with a nice flat left wrist and a long lever in a good impact hand location, this club face would be aiming out to the right. Well, you're too smart to let the ball go out to the right, so what do last second? You make an accommodation and you flip it a little bit in order not to hit it to the right. So you've enhanced the way you play by making a flip. So let's talk a little bit about your ball position. Now what I want you to think about is where you put the golf ball. So when you're hitting shots, now clearly if I'm going to put these out of the way so they're not confusing, if this golf ball on the ground, I don't even know if the camera can see this, I'll move back a little bit, that's clearly forward of where a traditional ball location would be, somewhere between, you know, under the logo of my shirt, for example. But this is what I want you to mess around with right here. I want you to put the ball way, way left, probably a little inside of where you're used to, even outside your left toe a little bit, and let's hit some shots. And what you're going to find is that ball, you're going to have a hard time starting that ball to the right, for the simple reason that your club is traveling down, out, and forward to a golf ball, and back up and in. And we're going to be hitting this golf ball kind of on our way around to the left. See, what happens with you is you make an okay golf swing. I want to fix your backswing just a little bit, but the golf ball's so far back in your stance, if you actually hit it with a flat left wrist and forward shaft, and you hit it way right, so you do have a little flip. So let's do the exact opposite. Let's get the ball forward, and let's go ahead and have a swing working left, where we can have a nice flat left wrist, and you can compress some shots. And you don't have to hit these hard, Trent. Hit them 60%. So if you hit a 7-iron, hit it 110 yards or something, to where you can go ahead and aim down a line. So there's the lines you like to put down on the ground. And what I'm going to do is put this ball way forward in my stance. And I'm going to hit this in the left side of this net. So let's work that a little bit so that you, instead of feeling like you have to flip it to hit it straight, we're going to change your whole concept a little bit. Chances are you're going to, hit a little bit of a fade, because right now I'm seeing no club face control in your golf swing. You're probably hitting it all over the place. And since you are flipping it, your leverage is gone, so your power is not there. The other element I want to see you work on in your backswing is simply this. You've got an element of pop out. Your hands go way out as the club head works in. So a good feeling here is that the handle works back and the club head works up. Alright, so when you're looking down at the golf ball, you can do little waggles. Now this shaft isn't parallel to the target line. Now for you, this is probably a goofy feeling for you, but it's something I'd like to see you work on. Get this handle in, club head out, and again, don't do this at full speed. Handle in, club head out, and let's hit little shots. Okay? That's a lot different from this pop-out move, which gets your sweet spot, okay, over-rotated. So now you have to do some manipulation to try to get that sweet spot back on the golf ball. You'll see when my handle goes in, my club face goes out, that sweet spot's still kind of aiming at the golf ball a little bit. By the time you get to here, Trent, this face is fanned way open. Okay, so there's a couple reasons there. Most golfers, they really admire how players hit it far. There's a sense, there's a whipping motion going on here in the club seeks this throw motion, throws out. There's a lot of effortless stuff going on with the hands. That's a really fine, trained motion that you know a good player is allowed to have happen. You know, Freddie Couples is a great example. Ernie Els. Those are the kind of the magical looks that people have. For you to feel this, you know, you've got this kind of the hands pop out, and it looks like there's a lot of hand manipulation. So for those of you that are watching this out there, you know, I want you to try something and give it an honest effort, because if you're going to get decent at this game, you have to have some freedom going back. You'll see this club head lags. My body starts, the club head's lagging, the club head's lagging. So the club head's moving last on the way back, and the club head's really moving last on the way down. And, you know, for some of you that understand some of the lingo, there's maybe a little bit of a down cocking going on here. And I don't want you to overdo that, but I just want you to understand the freedom required in order to get decent at this game. We don't want to take the club back with our hands. We don't want to throw the club head with our hands. We see plenty of that playing with our high handicap office partners and friends that can't break an egg. So let's be a little different. Let's understand that in order to have lag on the downswing, you have to have a little lag on the backswing, and let that load up. Let that mass at the end of this club stress those hands on the way down. That's really creating that motion that Mother Nature wants to throw out into the golf ball. So there's a little bit of lag on the backswing and a lot of lag on the downswing. But in Trent, in your case, you know, there's obviously like a pop-out hands move that we have to try to soften and fix by having the hand path be a little bit more inside of that club face sweet spot, aiming at the ball a little bit longer. Thanks for you. Ball location is going to be huge for you to fix. And then let's work that backswing drill. Take a couple more videos after practicing this for a few weeks, send it back to me. Tour strikers out there, thanks a lot for spending time in the garage with me, and I appreciate the support. Take care.